Hey, what's up, people? This your boy Beat Exclusives back in the building on the block. This is Artist Pop, the show that I bring to you all the beautiful talents that I'm able to come across online, offline, anywhere by any means. And today I've got with me a very beautiful lady who has a beautiful, she's got a beautiful talent, but I mean, I'm not going to unwrap the whole gift. And so we're going to dive into a conversation and then she's going to tell us about herself and what she does. And so, hello, miss.
Hello. Hi, how are you, Beat Exclusives?
Yeah, I'm very well. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
But by the way, I must compliment your smile.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, okay, all right. And so once upon a time I was streaming on TikTok live and then, beautiful lady jumped in on my live, She requested I play her music and I became a fan. Hence,
Oh,
yes. Hence, I asked her if I could interview her and she agreed to do an interview with me today. And so, um, if you don't mind me asking, please tell us your name, where you're from, give us a little bit background about yourself, please.
okay. So I'm Priscilla Bailey. I'm a
Right,
UK contemporary gospel artist.
right,
Um, so I sing a lot of kind of inspirational messages over like soul and neo soul beats.
right.
I've been going for quite a while now as a solo artist, but I was in kind of choirs and groups before that.
Right.
But yeah, my solo career started in 2016. I always get
Okay.
the dates mixed up.
Before we go
um,
deep into when your
all right,
solo
and
career started,
yeah,
um,
I'll let you know where I'm from. So you asked me that, didn't you? So
okay, all right.
I'm
Let me
from,
let me yeah,
I
let me
am
know where
from
you're from.
Birmingham,
Right.
but I reside in a place called Southend on Sea.
Okay. Do you mind me asking originally where you from? Besides the
So
UK, where else are you from?
I
Because
was born and bred. Yeah, I was born and bred here,
right.
in the UK. But it depends on whether you want the long or the short story.
I mean, let's keep it short. Let's keep it short. Let's
All
keep it
right.
short.
So, heritage wise, of course, it's the Caribbean. So
Right.
I'm into two places, Jamaica and Saint Kitts.
Okay, all right. Beautiful, beautiful. And so I'm going to start this way. When did you discover or from your childhood, was it obvious? Or I mean, did you have to, grow to a certain age to discover the obvious? When did you become aware of your ability, to use your pipes?
Very young, actually. It was my
Right,
grandmother that was the one who encouraged me to sing a lot
right,
as a child.
right.
She was a very devoted Christian lady, and she sang
Okay,
as well at church. But she
okay.
took me with her to church when I went to visit her, and she'd always teach me hymns and things like that.
Right,
And so I kind of developed that kind of singing, I suppose, a confidence in singing from my gran. And
right,
then, when I was in primary school, I was asked to play Mary in the
right,
nativity, and we did a little song, and I sang that first
right.
solo.
Okay, okay,
So, so from very young, it's almost like the gift was there,
okay.
and as I grew a bit older, as teenagers do, I became quite shy, so I didn't really sing that much,
Right,
and
but
that's
even
where
even
the
even before you get into your teenage side,
yeah.
when you were young, is it something that your grandma influenced, the passion in you, or I mean, it was just something that was there, but then she also kind of applied a bit more, influence to make you love it or something like that. I mean,
Yeah, I think it was always there because I used to always sing. I remember, I think my earliest memory was in nursery and
right,
singing along to songs. But yeah, I think she kind of just saw that kind of gift in me and just encouraged it really. So
right, and was it a bias encouragement, or did other people also, kind of saw what she saw in you? Because
no,
sometimes even our parents, grandmas, they will hype us for the little things, and so I mean, did you get compliments from other people as well whenever you
no,
sing, you
I
sang?
didn't. It
No.
was my gran was really the main person that I can recall.
Right.
I had a couple of gifts actually. I danced a lot as well.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I was a little performer. So
Right.
I'd
Right.
say a
Right.
lot more people were drawn to the dancing more than the singing. It was my grandmother that
Oh.
was very consistent with that, with the singing
Okay.
there.
Okay, I mean, okay, so fast forward. I mean, where are some of the places that you sang, when you were younger? I mean, church, any, childhood choir memories, any of that sorts?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I did my little solo in school.
Right.
I did join a choir, but it wasn't like I wasn't out in front or anything like that.
Yeah. Right.
Um, I used to make up songs with my cousin, or
Right.
we used to just sing things that we saw on Top of the Pops back in the
Right.
day.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so it wasn't anything major. I didn't join any performing arts school or anything like that.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so
Okay, so I mean, fast forward from being a kid or being a child into your teenage life, did you take the same influence or the same passion that your grandma installed in you into school? I mean, did you join any school singing clubs, anything in your, teenage age? Did you do
no,
anything?
I just developed quite a lot of shyness during that stage in life, unfortunately. So I became like a closet singer for quite a number of years.
Right,
Dancing was up on the top of the list. The
right,
90s was my heyday, so I used
right.
to always do a lot of dances that I saw like Bobby Brown or whoever
Right.
doing, and
Okay.
me and my friends used to rehearse and do our little choreography.
Right,
So
right, right. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we've all been like that before. I mean, I used to disturb a lot. I mean, I didn't know that it was, you know, gearing me towards, maybe into music production and stuff. But I remember back in the day, picking up buckets and, drumming the whole house down,
ah
drumming the whole house down till my mom gets so pissed and,
ah
she start hiding all the buckets and stuff in the house. And so, I mean, but some of the things that we're doing in childhood, we never knew where it was taking us until
true.
now that we're old. And so, I mean, okay, so you didn't really use get involved in singing, any type of singing, teenage. Okay, so
No.
making a transition from teenage to maybe, a youth. I mean, how did that happen? Did somebody hear you sing one time and said, "Hey, I believe in your singing. Do you want to explore it?" Or I mean, how did you find yourself back on the road of singing again? Like, how did it happen?
Yeah, well, really, it was a story of faith and finding my faith. Because for a while I'd been kind of out there, kind of in the world, like dancing, going to clubs and stuff with my friends.
Right,
And it started to become less and less of a thing that I wanted to do. I just got bored of the scene, and it was like every week's the same old, same old. And
right,
I think at that stage in my life, in my early 20s, I was really starting to search for a purpose.
right,
And anyway, long story short, I actually became a Christian. I became a committed Christian,
right,
got baptized and everything.
right.
And I felt as if we have this kind of relationship with God,
Yeah.
but I felt as if God was saying to me, "It's now time to start using your voice."
Okay.
And it was like I met through a friend, a vocal trainer,
Yeah.
um, who I didn't realize was a legend in the gospel world.
Okay.
Um, but she taught me how to bring out my voice because by that time I'd stopped using my voice for a long time and
Right.
I didn't really know how to kind of breathe properly and push the voice forward and, kind of express myself through singing. And she
Right.
taught me all of that.
Right.
Um, and she said to me that she wanted to hear the authentic voice, not
Right.
me trying to mimic,
Yeah.
Whitney
Yeah.
Houston or Mariah Carey. It was like, I want to say, she said, you've got to sound like you, Priscilla.
Yeah.
So that was really, really nice. Her name's Marcia Escoffrey.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so
Okay.
if anyone, looks her up, you'll find
Hey,
her
listen, people, look her up. Look her
discography.
up, man. Drop some comments.
Yeah.
Let me know if you know who she is. Obviously, she must be a legend.
Yeah, she is. She is
Right.
in the UK gospel scene.
Right.
But yeah, she was so pivotal in me kind of finding my voice. And then from there, I
Right.
joined church choir.
Okay. Okay. So
And
I mean, sorry. Let me
yeah,
let me backtrack slightly. Now,
yeah.
your decision to become a dedicated Christian, was it? Was it based on certain circumstances that you found yourself that made you say, I give up? Or it was just a personal decision? You're like, all right, enough of all this. Come on. Let's let's get serious now with Christ. I mean,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
yeah, it was like a build up of different things. There were so many things going on,
right.
and I just remember just feeling quite unstable and very shaky.
Mm,
I was worried. I don't know why I was so worried about my future.
right,
It seemed like a lot of the decisions I was making was just dead end, and
right.
I didn't know what I wanted to do in terms of career. I didn't know. I mean, my relationships were terrible, most of them that I
Yeah,
had, whether it was with fair weather friends, I'd call
yeah,
them,
right.
people that would pick you up, you were flavor of the month, and then they drop
Mm,
you.
right,
And then I had just a lot of things going on at that time, I think.
right,
And for me, it was like, what is the point?
right, right,
What?
right, right,
So I'm
right,
just trying
right,
to
right,
figure out like, where am I going?
right.
What is my purpose of being here?
Okay.
Is there a purpose to being here? And I think
Mm.
that's where, yeah, that's really what started it off
Okay,
for me.
so now you got to a place where you felt like, okay, enough is enough. How did you end up in the church? Did somebody invite you, or you were just
Mm.
passing by the church and the Holy Spirit said, "Hold on, don't go any further. This is where you're meant to be." How did it happen? How did it happen?
Yeah, so again, it's just another encounter with hearing from God.
Right.
And I was praying, and in fact, I remember being really angry at one point. I was just like, I don't know why I'm feeling, because my mood was dipping as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, why am I so down about everything? Why am I so negative?
Right.
And, I just felt that God was saying, do you want to continue to make this
Right.
kind of same choices and
Yeah.
going down down the road that you're going?
Yeah.
Or do you want to make a different choice and go, the way
Mm.
that I want you to go?
Right.
And I just kept thinking about it. And then so later, I got a phone call
Yeah.
from a very kind of old school friend, a friend from school,
Yeah.
from back in the day. And he said, do you want to come to church on Sunday? And I said, yeah, I
Okay.
do. I do.
Was it
So,
like a happy year or a frustrated year or a maybe year? Because sometimes somebody might say something to you, and you know just because maybe because of your relationship with that person, or you have a certain type of respect for that person, you might agree to do it, and not because you want to do it, but you just want to do it so that they won't feel like you're being a snob, or you're turning them down. So what type of year was it?
it's funny actually because he'd asked me several times prior, and I'd
Right.
said no.
Okay.
So when so this time when he said,
Yeah.
"Do you want to come to church?" and I said yes, he didn't say anything. I said, "Are you still there?" And he said, "Yeah, it's okay." I was just a bit shocked. Just a bit
Wow.
shocked. But he said, "Okay, all right,
Right.
I'll just pick you up on Sunday."
Wow. Wow. I mean, it must have, really put him in a place where, is she being serious, or is she? I mean,
Yeah.
because for somebody to ask you the same thing over and over again, and then one day you say,
Mm.
yeah. I mean, sometimes if it's me, I'll probably be thinking, are you just messing with me or something like that? You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, 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 yeah. But okay, so
Yeah.
now you agreed to go to the church. Is it the same church you're still going till now, or you've changed a few churches and then eventually decided to join the choir in the church?
Yeah, so I'm no longer at that church. I don't live in Birmingham anymore anyway.
Oh, okay,
It was
okay,
when I
okay.
was in Birmingham.
Right, right, right,
Um, but yeah, it was kind of almost like the beginning of my training ground, I suppose,
right.
because I joined the choir at that church,
Mm,
or well, they call it worship team.
right.
But so I was there every Sunday singing the songs,
Yeah,
sometimes leading
yeah.
songs as well. And then we had like what we call outreach teams.
Right,
So we'd go outside and
right,
also sing some songs
right.
out there and
Yeah,
tell people about our
right.
faith and things. So yeah,
Right.
it was a really good training
Mm,
for me.
Okay, finally, now you've become a part of the church. At what point in time did you say, okay, let me join the choir? Were you invited into the choir, or What was there like a time when they said if you want to join the choir you can? Because sometimes like they do open invitations. If you are interested to be part of a group, you'll be asked to willingly come and join. And so, where did the decision to join the choir come in? Because don't forget, you've been holding back on yourself from singing for a long time, and so and so to gather courage to go join a group of people. I mean, sometimes it's frightening. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll be hearing
Yeah.
also, yeah. So where did the push come in to say, okay, I want to join the choir and start using my voice again?
Well, funny enough, I'd say, let me see. So it was a bit prior to me getting the vocal training
Hmm.
where I used to get people asking me if I sang. And
Right.
this was before I even sang a note. And
Oh,
I found it very weird that we just have a conversation
yeah.
and people say, "Do you sing?" I'd be like, How, why? Why are you asking that?" And he said,
Because
"Well, you
cause
sound like
maybe
you've got that
yeah, because
kind
maybe it
of
was
voice."
obvious. Maybe it was there. I mean, because you know,
It was a very weird scenario, but there was about several people that said that to me.
yeah.
So I think it kind of probably just planted seeds anyway.
Oh,
And then someone at the church who I was friends with,
yeah.
she was already on the worship team, and I believe they were looking for more singers. So that's
Okay.
when I asked. But
Okay.
then they said that I needed to do some vocal training.
Right.
So yeah, I did vocal training and everything, and
Okay.
and joined.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, fast forward to joining the choir. I mean, did you join different other choirs, or you just stuck with one choir for a while?
Yeah, so I did join another choir.
Mm-hmm.
It was a traveling choir, this one, and
Right.
it was based in Birmingham, the
Okay.
Birmingham Community Gospel Choir,
Yeah.
and I was in there for a number of years actually.
Okay.
Um, we went to various kind of private and public events,
Okay.
and we were also on Songs of Praise.
Right.
We did a competition on that and won that.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, it was quite
Okay.
a big choir.
Okay. So I mean, you're in the choir. Everything is going well. You're
Yes.
singing now. You're finding your happy feet again. What made you decide, okay, now let me embark on being a solo artist? I mean, separate myself from being in a group and, just pursue a cause for myself or, for the Lord or, for what I believe in. What influenced that decision?
Yeah, so throughout all that time, even when I was at the church singing
Mm,
in the
mm,
choir, I was writing songs at home. It
right.
was really weird actually because I was just spending my quiet time sometimes just writing. I could hear some melodies in my head and I'd record them,
Mm,
or I'd write out some words. And so I had
mm,
quite a lot of papers just piling up with all these songs.
right.
And as I was outside one day, we were
Yeah.
singing a song. I think it was Ain't Nobody by Chaka
Right.
Khan, but we changed the words slightly.
Okay. Okay.
So kind of Christianized it. And this guy came up to me and he said, "Oh, I really like your voice. Do you have a CD?" That's when the CDs were still out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
For the
I
younger
mean,
people, they probably won't know what they are.
yeah.
Um,
Hey, Gen Zs, come on. Listen, they
so
probably know, but out of sometimes I feel like people are aware of the transitions or the things that we've gone through up until date, but they don't really want to give it any relevance, and so they
yeah,
pretend they don't know. And so I mean, but anyway, this is what
uh,
it is. If they know, they know. If
yeah.
they don't know, it's up to them.
Mm. So
Yeah.
yeah, so this guy asked me, "Do I have a CD?" And I says, "What of the songs that we're doing?" And he said, "No,
Yeah.
no. Have you got any music out?" And I
Right.
said, "No, no, I don't." And so while I was at the other choir, now the bigger choir, because it
Yeah.
kind of a few years had passed,
Yeah.
there was a lady there that she had her own home studio, and
Okay.
she invited me to the studio because I said I'd be really
Right.
interested to see the whole
Right.
process of
Right.
recording. I've got loads of songs, but I don't know how,
Right.
how to get
Right.
them
Right.
out.
Right.
And yeah, so she gave me some
Okay.
time to record
Okay.
stuff, and that's where it started.
Right. And okay. Okay. So out on the street, somebody requesting for a CD, you saying you don't have any CD, and then an opportunity came for you to, go record your first time going to the studio? Was it? I know it's a home studio, but but some people's home studio are a bit, posh. I know a few people that have posh home studios, and so I mean, your first time behind the console or behind, in the booth, singing in a studio settings. I mean, how was the feeling?
It wasn't that posh actually. It was like a Mac and a few bits and pieces, but
Okay, proper home
they had,
studio
they had like the equipment, but it wasn't like in a proper
settings.
separated
Right.
setting. Yeah. So
Okay.
I think it was in the conservatory or something that we were. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I did some recording. It was all a very weird uh experience because
R-
it's very different from just singing in a group or
Right.
singing just live and going with the flow. I had to stick
Right.
to structure, and
Right.
that was very weird
And
for
and
me.
and was that the first time that you were being guided on how to structure music?
Yeah,
As in maybe lay a chorus, do harmonies, and then do a verse. And
yeah,
was that the first time?
yeah. I think by the time I got to that stage, I
Mm,
already kind of had mapped out melodies,
right.
like a whole kind of song. At the time,
Mm.
we used to have bridges in our
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There's
Definitely. Yeah.
not so
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you'd
Yeah.
get
I
the
mean,
verse and
yeah.
your chorus and
Yeah.
and yeah. So I think I did get coached though on certain things like ad libs and
Right.
um, making sure things I suppose made sense and there was more expression and all the
Right.
rest of it. That yeah, I was coached on a lot of things.
Eventually, you've gone to the studio. When you recorded your first, track from the studio, who did you play first to? I mean, who was the first to listen to your music and gave you thumbs up or thumbs down? How did it go?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, my first track actually wasn't played until no, my first track wasn't played at all, actually.
Why
It
you
was
kept it
it
to
was
yourself?
almost like, yeah, I kept it. I kept it. It just didn't sound polished to me. And I think it was might have been the way that I was singing at the time.
Yeah,
I think as I've grown as an artist,
yeah,
I can definitely tell the difference now between the quality back then and
yeah,
now.
yeah.
But at the time, I wasn't really comfortable releasing it, and I think for me, it was just a means to an end, just to kind of get that experience first.
Right, right, right.
I think it was called My Valentine or something. It wasn't even, it wasn't even that
Oh, so it,
sophisticated.
so it wasn't even a Christian song.
Not really. It was, but it was just a weird concept anyway. And so I didn't feel comfortable releasing that.
Right.
And then yeah, and then a couple of years later, then I started to work on my EP.
And what
So
was it? Was it like a pop track, R&B, soul? Because I know you're very much into soul now, and so I mean,
yeah,
what type of music was it? Was it
yeah. So
experimental?
it was all very R&B, very much R&B. So it's five
Right,
tracks.
right,
And yeah, so I did five tracks, one of which was I was featured on a song
right,
um, by a group called Chosen from
right.
Birmingham. Um,
Okay.
and so yeah,
So,
yeah, it did really well. Oh
okay,
yeah,
so
so yeah, it got sent out to many kind of soul radio stations,
okay,
and they really liked it.
right. Did you ever hear yourself on radio? Out of your first singles or out of your first recordings, did you ever chanced on hearing your song being played? Because I want to know how you felt about it.
Yeah, I did hear my music being played because the DJs would send me links to
Right,
the shows, and
right,
so I'd hear my music.
right.
Yeah, it was very strange hearing my voice,
And was it
admittedly.
was it was it a reaction of because my first time I had myself on radio, I made sure everybody knew it. I made sure everybody knew I was on radio. And so I mean, did you tell everybody or you just kept it to yourself, if you know type of vibe?
Probably. I can't remember. I do remember telling everyone that I'd released my music.
Right, right, right.
I can't remember if I'm honest. I
Okay,
think there
so
might have been the odd thing where, yeah, I probably sent out. Well, it's probably mostly my interviews and things like
right,
that.
right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, what year was this when you recorded like your first proper make EP or album or anything that you put out?
Yeah, my first EP was in 2016 called I Believe in Love.
Okay. Was it Christian related or it was just
Yes, it was Christian. Yes.
okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
And throughout, your exploring your musical talents and stuff, were you ever signed to a record label or a management, team or anything like that?
No, I wasn't signed to a label. I mean, if I'm honest, the people that did my first EP,
Mm-hmm.
I I'd agreed to have their label written on my
Oh,
stuff
right.
because I used their studio, of course.
Okay. Was it for
But
free?
I wasn't, yeah. So I wasn't
Okay.
signed to them or anything else like that. So there's no kind of exchange of finance or anything there. But
Right.
trying to help them to kind of build their portfolio as well of artists.
Right.
But I don't think they kind of did that in the end. So
Right. And
yeah.
did you own the rights to the songs or it was a
Yeah,
partnership?
so
So
yeah, there was percentages of which, I got a percentage for
written on
obviously
paper
writing.
or verbal?
Yeah, well, it would be the PRS
Okay, PRS.
registrations.
All right, cool. Right, cool.
Yeah,
Cool. And I
yeah.
mean, till date, do you still receive like residuals from, royalties, anything from?
Um, Probably not so much from my EP.
Right,
I released an album in 2018, which
right,
I'd say probably I'm getting a lot more from that, a lot more traction.
right.
Because I suppose as a beginner, as a newcomer,
Yeah.
people don't really know you, so
I
it's
mean,
hard at
yeah.
the beginning.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean, let's fast forward to 2023, 2024, 2025. No, 2025, we're still new in here. So up
Yes.
until 2024, what have you been up to? Have you worked on any albums, within the last 3 years, leading to this year? Have you released any major, songs that, are kind of out there making waves within your circles and all of that?
Yeah, so I am well, I have been releasing singles
Mhm.
um up until this point, and I've been working on my album, which is out in the next month or so. I've got
Right,
to finalize the date.
right.
But yeah, the songs are finished for my album now.
Mm,
But yeah, I've been releasing singles, which have been doing really good actually.
right,
So there was one called Love Always Wins, and that got
right.
my first number one on the Christian charts over here. And
What is it? The whole UK or is
yeah,
it?
UK.
Is it?
Yeah, it's called Step Forward Charts. Step
Uh,
Forward Christian charts.
is it? I'll,
Yeah,
I- I'll have to look it up after because I
yeah.
mean I'd love to paste it somewhere just for people to know. Listen, you're serious on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Um,
good. That's good.
and Yeah, and then I released a duet with a gentleman over in America.
Right,
His name's Charles Mora,
right.
and we did a song called Heaven, and
Okay.
that's doing really well. Probably got a lot of streams from that.
Right, right,
It
right,
seemed to
right,
have resonated a lot with people.
right,
And then my next one was Beat of Love, which I released last year, which
right.
got me an award. I got if I can see it here, yeah, got me my Gospel
Oh wow.
Gospel Explosion Awards
Right.
2024
Okay.
for Best R&B.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Lovely. Well done. Well
yeah,
done.
so
Right. Okay. I mean, it's been a beautiful conversation so far. I mean, I've really enjoyed it. I've never really, had a conversation with a female in the genre of music that you make. You get what I'm saying? And
yeah, it's very
you're
niche.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, it's not for everybody, but it's also for everybody because Christ is for everybody. So,
exactly.
and good morals and well behaving is for everybody. I mean, not
Yeah.
everybody subscribes to it, but I mean, I feel like everybody needs to behave themselves. And so, okay, between streaming, money and making appearances and performance, where do you make your most income? And is it sustainable? Are you able to live on that, or do you have to rely on other means of income to sustain yourself as an artist?
I think probably most of the money, like with most people, whether it's mainstream or gospel, It's
Mm-mm.
going to be from performing.
Right.
It's going to be from people paying to see you.
Right.
Um, and so, if I'm asked to be a guest singer, or,
Mm.
even if it's just a little, I suppose, a little offering or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, it still kind of garners more than relying on streaming. Streaming only gives you like peanuts,
I mean,
basically.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. You have to be, a certain pedigree with it. A certain
Exactly.
amount of
And
catalogs, albums, releases, and stuff before you can see any good
yeah,
money. So yeah. Yeah.
but with the age that we're in with TikTok and other platforms,
Mm-mm.
there is still opportunity for people like myself
Yeah, there
who,
is.
relatively unknown, to get, to catapult on just one
Yeah.
song. And
I feel like the niche that you're in, the type of music that you make has an audience, but it's one of them ones that you have to be really up on your toes. Or it's either somebody who has, like, typical example, if you have like a booking agent,
mm,
if you have a booking agent, people like that, that's their job. They get percentages out of, finding new gigs. And so,
yeah,
really and truly, if you want to be out there in that space, because I mean, it's not like the typical commercial space that, everything is loud and everywhere.
mm,
This is very like, it's for a selected few that, like, like a low, not too much of an attention seeking type of vibe. So like I was saying, really and truly, you have to find somebody who is able to get you into, different pockets of spaces, for you to reach really and truly the core audience of the type of music that you make. I mean, maybe you're bigger than what I see. You're just trying to keep it on the low, So it's up to me for me to go and make my research after this interview just to make sure that, I don't come up looking like, looking like an unprepared, interviewer. And so, yeah, but I mean, it's been a very lovely conversation for me. I mean, very enlightening as well. Like I said, I haven't really spoken to anybody who does the type of music that you make, and so I mean, I've met people that sing, somehow like the way you do, they like the new soul, the chill old
yeah,
school vibe. Yeah, so I mean, I'm very, I have the ears for that, but I haven't really sat down to speak to somebody who has like, because from the people that I know, they do like the secular commercial type of, neo soul, type of vibe. But I mean, yours is within, hallelujah. So yeah,
it's funny
but
though, because I do get a lot of people that listen to soul and neo soul listening to my music.
yeah,
So it's almost like, I have two different types of audiences
right, right,
because of the
right,
sound and the style of the music, and then
right,
of
right,
course because of the message in
right,
the
right, right.
music. So that, I do have two different types of audiences,
Twos
but
and
I
twos, right,
appreciate
right,
them all. And the funny thing I was going to say was that, when I started this journey
yeah,
and I was doing this style of music, it wasn't very popular,
right.
because if I
Wait,
think about
what year
it,
was this? What year? You're giving me impression,
2016.
You probably don't
Yeah.
look your age. You probably don't look your age, but you're giving me, a lot of old school energy, and
Oh
so
yes, I'm very. You know what? I used to listen to a lot of my mom's old vinyls, and
right,
so she had a lot of like Motown and,
right,
people from like, 50s, 60s kind of,
yeah.
uh, type music. So I grew up listening to a lot of those kind of different styles
So
anyway.
so would you
Um,
say you have like an old soul?
I think so. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Because I
Yeah,
mean,
I
what I
think
get
so.
from you is, like anti vibes. I'm not saying you're that age,
I am
because
an auntie. Yes, I am.
yeah,
I'm
maybe you,
proud
you
to be
can
an
be an.
auntie.
Listen, I have an uncle that I'm older than, so I know.
Yeah, so, and
So,
I don't mind. I mean, I'm in a WhatsApp group with,
mm,
a bunch of very young artists,
mm,
and, I feel the appreciation
yeah,
of just obviously my experience, and me being there, and, I appreciate them as well, and so
yeah,
it's kind of mutual.
right,
But as I was saying, when I first started on this journey,
yeah,
the music that I was singing wasn't popular because I didn't realize. how the music industry worked. I didn't realize that you had to follow trends.
Mm,
I didn't
mm,
know any of that. And so
mm.
um, gospel soul or neo soul wasn't even popular back then.
Yeah.
And then, funny enough, probably about 3 or 4 years later, I started to
Mm.
see this kind of new
Yeah.
emergence of
Yeah.
neo
Yeah.
soul style,
Yeah.
artists. And I thought, oh, this is interesting.
Right, 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 right,
So
right,
it's
right.
almost like I'd I'd started my own kind of lane,
Mm, 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 mm,
and
mm.
then other
And
people
then
started
other
to,
people
you
just
know,
jumped in. So
yeah,
are you going to start say with authority that you started the whole movement?
no, no, there was a handful of us actually, but
Right, right, right,
I
right, right.
I do remember even a few years after I'd released my album, it was like, oh, you're still doing your neo soul? Like you said,
Wait, did it say it in a way that felt like are you still stuck in the old school?
yeah,
Or
you're still doing your neo soul.
no, but it's not bad though. It's not bad. I mean, I would listen to new soul any day, every day. It will probably not be like the type of go-to music that I'll run to, but
Yeah,
like typical example, I do photography, videography sometimes, and when I'm doing pictures and I'm sorting through pictures and I'm editing and stuff,
mm,
that's the type of music I use because it's very
yes,
calming. I mean,
yeah,
even when I'm frustrated, it kind of has a way to make me, boy, relax, do your thing, just
yeah.
relax, no pressure. And so I mean, I feel like there's a bigger market for that, but it's not the market. I'm not like the type that will go to a new show concert.
Yes,
And so
yes,
I feel like there's a lot of us like that. We will listen to the
yeah.
music if it comes our way, but we are not buying tickets to the shows. I mean,
I hear you.
I
I mean,
mean,
I'm not so mellow, I suppose, with some of my music. It's more
right,
upbeat and
right,
more kind of dancey.
yeah,
So that's probably why I class myself more of gospel soul, but people do
okay,
still kind of feel that I'm more veering towards the neo soul, which
okay,
is fine with me. I don't really mind how they
okay,
categorize me. So
okay. All right, all right. Listen, I feel like you're just a beautiful soul. You're just calm. You're relaxed. You give a little bit of, you know, don't stress me type of vibe. I'm in my own space, I'm okay. I mean, is it because of, is it because you are aware that it's just a few people that are into this type of music and so you're not really bothered about it? Or I mean, did you stop doing music for some time and now you're trying to be active again? Like what is the balance here? Have you stayed consistent for the past 5 years? Or have you just
um
been in and out of it?
I've always been consistent with the music.
Right.
I'd say that there was interruptions. Unfortunately, I had deaths in family. Both of my
Mm.
parents passed away
Oh,
in that
sorry for that.
time. So yes, unfortunately, it did have an impact.
Right.
But with faith, with my faith, it
Mm.
brought me back and it
Okay.
brought my voice back, and I came back stronger.
Right.
And with, I think, the quality of even if when I even look back to some of my old stuff, I can see the growth that I've
Mm.
made.
Mm, 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 mm,
Um,
mm.
and yeah, I don't think now I could ever veer off this journey.
Right, right, right,
Um, so there's nothing standing in my way. I just keep going. But
right.
I'm not really here to I suppose, make a name for myself. That's probably
Yeah.
why I'm so relaxed.
Right,
Um, it's more about just get the music out, and
right,
whoever it reaches, it reaches. Whoever it encourages, and kind of make someone feel better about the day or about themselves.
right.
I've done my job.
Okay,
So
okay, okay. I mean, that's fair enough. I'm in the same place as well. So right now, if anybody asks me, I just tell them I'm just a recording artist. I just record the music and put it out. I'm not really into no performances or making any appearance. I mean, if you come to my door with 100,000, maybe I'll think about it. But but for now, I haven't had any offers on my table, and so I'm just making the music, just putting them out. And so yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I'm in the
I
same
mean,
space as well.
I love to perform. So wherever I get the chance to perform, I perform.
Right, 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 right.
That's not an issue. But I
Okay.
mean, in terms of having my name in lights and selling out,
Okay.
concerts in Dubai and all the rest of it. It's not really,
Right.
it's not really
No, a
something
cup
that
of tea. All right, cool. So, I mean, are you happy to touch on personal life, a little bit of your personal life?
if you
Or
want to.
okay, you're a very beautiful lady, I must say. I'm looking at you, you're smiling, everything like that. I mean, do you have,
Uh-huh.
immediate family, married, kids? Are you involved
None
in
of them. None of
what's
the
that?
above. So I'm not married.
Yeah,
I don't have children.
right,
But I'm an auntie, as you rightly
right,
guessed.
right. Um,
So yeah, I have
is
a
it
quite a
eh,
big family.
right,
And yeah, my dad's side of the family, most of them live in Birmingham.
right,
Um, the rest in Jamaica and
okay.
wherever.
All over
And
the
my
place.
yeah, in
Right,
fact, I've got family everywhere. But
okay,
yeah, my mom's side, mostly like the north of England.
yeah,
So
okay. And I mean, is is it something that you're interested in, or you just, not up to it? I mean,
what?
making family, like having a family, like
Having
getting
a
married.
family.
Yeah, getting married,
Well,
having kids and all of that. Are you? I mean,
yeah, I
listen, these
mean,
days people like different things, and yeah, it is what it is. I mean, but
yeah,
I'm just thinking, for a black man, when I see a pretty black lady, I'm not asking for myself, but I'm asking for everybody or
yeah.
anybody that will watch the interview and will think,
It's a single show now.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
if you're happy to talk about it, that's fine. If not, we can
yeah,
skip it.
I leave that to God, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I have been in and out of kind of relationships, dating
Right.
wise.
Right.
So yeah, I'm always open to meeting the right type of person,
Okay.
the
Okay.
right type
Okay.
of person.
Okay.
That means a marriage-minded
Right.
person.
Right. Right. Right.
So yeah, is the answer
Okay.
to that. I'm not following the kind of trend at the moment where,
Right.
don't come near me. I don't want anyone talking to me. I'm
Right.
fine
Right.
on my
Right.
own.
Right.
Kind
Right.
of, that's not my mentality.
Okay. All right. Hey, listen. Open invitation, guys. Come on. She's looking,
It's
but
not
she
open
wants.
season.
She wants responsible, individuals, not man them thing, roadman business. No, no,
No,
no.
it's well, no,
Don't.
too
Yeah,
old
don't.
for road man.
Yeah, don't bring that here. Don't bring that here. She wants, somebody disciplined, responsible. Knows how to look after themselves and their responsibilities. That type of vibe. I lie.
I don't want that type of person.
You don't want somebody that knows how to take care of their
Oh,
responsibilities.
sorry. I thought you meant the
What?
road man.
No, no,
I
no,
thought
no,
you
no,
said
no,
the
no,
road.
no, no. I'm
Okay.
not. Come on, man. I'm not gonna preach no roadman for you. Come on, come on. Anyway, it's been a lovely conversation. But listen, I can't say goodbye without you. You know, spinning one twos. With your pipes for the audience. I mean, for the people that have never heard your music. I mean, I think it's only fair for them to hear, a little a cappella. A cappella from you, just so that they
Yeah.
know that okay. Listen, I'm not crazy from bringing you onto this platform. And so please, I mean, you see my name on TikTok, innit? It's Mado. I mean, a little
Yes.
bit out up there, but it is what it is. So please, if you don't mind, humble request, give us a little bit a cappella for the audience, to see why I brought you on here. Please,
All
please.
right. Oh, which
Thank
song to
you.
sing? All right. Walking, walking to your heart beat, compassion is where you lead me. Love is patient, not proud. Love is kindness. We must walk in a way that brings glory to your name, leaving all anger behind so we can be more like you. Defender of justice, defender of truth.
It's okay. If you want to hear the whole song, go and stream her music.
That was from Beat of Love, my
Right, right,
recent
right,
single.
right,
Yeah,
right, right. Yeah, that was
yeah.
lovely. I really enjoyed it. Listen, you have a, I mean, Your voice is sweet, man. It's sweet. It's sweet.
Oh,
In my
thank
African
you.
accent, your voice is nice.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
but
Bless you.
yeah. Listen, I really appreciate, even the fact that you've taken time out of your busy schedule or whatever you're meant to be doing to say, let me come and have a conversation with you. You're very gentle. You're very responsive. It's difficult to have a conversation with some female artists. I've done some before. Terrible.
Oh,
But anyway, I mean, they want to do the interview, but when you ask them questions, they don't want to speak. It's difficult.
well,
And so, I mean, but you're opposite. I mean, you've been very responsive. The conversation has been very, enjoyable. Anything I ask, you
oh.
respond. You give more than I ask. And so, it's very nice. Now, let's direct people to your music. Where can they find your music?
Okay, so my music is on all available platforms, all yeah, so from Tidal to Amazon
Right,
to iTunes,
right,
Spotify, of
right.
course. I do have a Bandcamp,
Okay.
and the recent one, oh gosh, he's going to kill me for for forgetting this. gtracks.net.
Right,
That's a
right.
downloading site
Okay,
for gospel artists.
okay, okay,
Yeah, but it's on my music's on all major
okay. I mean, do
platforms.
do you only do like soft copies, or do you do like hard copies, CDs? Do you, anything like that?
I haven't done CDs for a
I mean,
while.
vinyl. I mean, these days artists are doing vinyls and stuff. And
It's true.
yeah,
It all depends on how well my second album does. I might do some exclusive
right,
vinyl.
right. I mean, do you have any
We'll see.
merch? Do you sell any merch?
Yeah, there
Anything
is
that
merch on my website. So my website is on www.priscillabailey.co.uk.
PriscillaBailey.com dot co dot uk.
Yes.
Okay, okay, all right, cool. And also, I mean, you're a vocalist, and so if somebody want to use your services, I mean,
Mhm.
how can they get in touch with you? Email, any number available, socials, let's put
Yeah,
it out there.
so I am on most platforms, but yeah, Instagram you'll get me on, and TikTok at Priscilla Bailey Music One on TikTok.
Right,
Um, and yeah, you can also there's a like a little sheet, not sheet, a little contact
right.
box on my website as well.
Okay, okay,
But yeah, I
okay,
do have an email, Priscilla
okay,
Bailey Music at
okay,
gmail.com.
okay. Priscilla Bailey, lovely lady. Thank you very
Oh,
much for
nice to speak
spending,
to you.
yeah, thank you very much for spending, your evening with me, having a conversation
Mhm.
with me. I mean, it's very special to me because I mean, my platform, me venturing into, honestly, I didn't consider doing interviews. It's just when I go on TikTok and the amount of, inboxes and messages I'm getting from artists, I'm like, maybe this is actually where I'm meant to be going instead of
Yeah,
the other way. And so my platform is still growing. I have 3 point something followers, 3 point something thousand followers on
that's fantastic.
YouTube. I've got 2,000 on my Instagram. I've got another 5,000 on another Instagram.
Yeah,
here and there is growing, slow but sure,
nice.
slow but sure.
Good.
You get what I'm saying? And so, maybe now I'm being driven into my purpose. And
Mm,
I've always wanted to have a platform where I give artists the chance to have somewhere to speak. You get what I'm saying, or to share their music with the rest of the world. And so that's what I'm up to now. And so it's been very lovely speaking to you. I've really had a blast, eye-opening conversation, personal stuff and all of that. I really appreciate you taking time to speak to me. Anything you want to say to the world, before we shut down?
Um, well, this there's a lot going on in this world.
Right,
I just pray that, we can all just take a deep breath
right,
and just really just pray for things to get better. But even if things don't, there
yeah,
is a God who loves us
right,
and can protect us.
right,
And
right.
so, yeah, yeah, just look to him, look to him.
Okay, okay.
That's what I
And
would
then
say.
what's the most current projects that you're promoting right now? Put it out there. Let's get people to go
Right.
stream it.
Okay. So, Beat of Love.
Right.
the single. But it will be included on my album, which, as I said earlier, will be out in the next month or so. So I'm just finalising everything, making sure everything's registered,
Right.
and then I will put a date
Do we
for.
have a title for the album yet? Name for the album yet?
Yeah, Greater Love. It's
Greater
called.
Love. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Guys, look out for Greater Love from Priscilla Bailey. Lovely name. Look out for, Greater Love from Priscilla Bailey. I mean, she has a single off the album, in stores right now. Apple, Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, wherever you stream your music. Go check out Priscilla Bailey, type out her name. Lovely. She's always smiling. I'm very sure she'll be smiling on the covers as well. You know what I'm saying?
Actually,
Yeah.
no, I look quite serious in my cover.
No, you're not smiling.
I look quite serious.
I'll,
So
I'll,
yeah, I do look quite
I'll
serious.
go and download it and use AI to edit it and make you smile and go and put it back, if that is possible. But yeah, hey, listen, Priscilla, thank you very much. I really, appreciate your time, and having this conversation with me. And I hope you keep soaring with your music. Listen, you're touching lives, whether you know or not. Definitely somebody somewhere cherishes, the contents that you're putting out there. And so the only thing I can say is don't stop, don't relent, keep being yourself, keep being creative. I mean, it's given to you for free. And so all you can do is to put it out and let the universe, deal with it however they want to deal with it. But I know
Mm,
definitely you're touching somebody somewhere with the beautiful voice that you're gifted with. And so, yeah, I can only,
mm.
I can only encourage you to keep, blessing the world with the beautiful gift. I mean, when we are here no more, we ain't taking it anywhere.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? And so it's been a
Exactly.
lovely conversation. Have a lovely evening. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And
Yeah.
anytime you have anything to promote, hit me up. You know where to find me. Don't worry about
Okay.
my name. It's Mado. Don't worry. That's not, the true me. I mean, and it's funny how I came up with that name. I was going when I wanted to really get into TikTok. I was going through, okay, how am I going to stand out, out of all this crowd on TikTok. And then I was having a conversation with somebody, and then out of randomly he said it's Mado, and it stuck in my head. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, cool. So when it was time for me to choose a name, I'm just saying this to say that I didn't plan to use that name. It came to
Oh,
me.
okay.
It came to me, so I decided, all right, cool. Let me just use it. I mean, since it's easy for everybody to kind of, it's Mado, it's
Mm,
Mado. So yeah, but
mm.
yeah, it is what it is. Thank you very much. Don't let me, don't let me keep you here till your dinner gets cold. Yeah,
Oh,
but
oh,
please,
thank you very much for having me. And
it's a pleasure, man.
yeah, I
You're
wish you all the
welcome.
best for your platform.
Yes. Anytime you have any content to promote, please hit me up. I'll do my best, to be part of, whatever you're doing. Yeah. All right,
Okay,
cool.
thank
Enjoy
you.
your evening.
All
Thank
right, and you
you.
too.
All
Okay,
right, guys.
bye.
This your boy Beats Exclusives in the building. Lovely conversation with Priscilla Bailey. Listen, go check out her music. She's on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes. I don't know if Apple and iTunes they're the same place, but go and stream. Tidal, YouTube. Just search her name, Priscilla Bailey. Easy, simple. Yeah. Please let's support her. Go on her socials. Instagram is Priscilla Bailey.
Priscilla Bailey Music.
Priscilla Bailey Music, Instagram, YouTube.
Priscilla Bailey. Yeah, just Priscilla Bailey.
Priscilla Bailey on YouTube. Go and subscribe to her channel. Lovely music, relaxing. After listening to all the bashment and the craziness, go get some soul cleansing music, in your system as well. All right. If you're an artist and you want to come onto this platform, please follow me on all socials and drop me a DM that says, artist pop. And definitely, I'll respond to you. But I have to listen to your music before, I'll allow you on here because I'm trying to present, quality out of quantity. And so please, yeah. If I don't respond to you, it's not intentional. There's a lot happening right now. I'm one man doing everything. You go, what I'm saying it's crazy, but it is what it is. When God puts you up to the task, he gives you the strength to do it. And so, more
There you go.
energy. All right, cool. Priscilla, enjoy your evening, guys.
And
Catch
you
you on the
too.
next one. On to the
All right.
next. Bless.
Oh, bless you too.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye bye.
Bye.